G'day legends, welcome back. I hope you've all been excellent. On today's video, I want to show you 5 amps that I've been enjoying in the HX Stomp. We're going to start out with my Strat, plug straight into the guitar input of the HX Stomp. I'm coming out in stereo to my Universal Audio Apollo X8 interface, and I'm not doing any post-processing on any of this. The cab IR that I'm going to be using for these 5 different amps is one that I've got available for free. Just check the video description and you can find a link and you can grab this and a bunch of other IRs. So good old LT TV Mix 7. I've got the low cut at 85 Hertz and the high cut at 8.5 kilohertz on here. This is just a 1024 sample IR. Sounds totally fine. The very first amp we're going to check out is this Essex A30s. So a Vox style thing. You can see where I've got it dialed in at the moment, the drive around noon. I've got the bass and treble at around 6.5. I've increased the cut control quite a bit on there. Presence I haven't touched, and all the other advanced stuff I've pretty much left alone. We're going to hear it with a little bit of this dynamic hall reverb, and then I'll kick in a few different effects. I've got the Adriatic delay, I've got a dimension chorus, and I've got the boost comp, a legacy effect that I still really like the sound of with this amp. So let's hear it on the neck pickup. The boost comp really fattens things up there, as you can hear. A little bit spiky sounding on that neck and middle combination. You could tame that with a boost comp or maybe a different compressor on there. Before I kick in some modulation and delay, one thing that was recommended to me that I think really does make a difference here is playing around with the input impedance on each patch. I'll let you just hear this at the auto setting, which I think is 1 mega ohm and then 230K. So with the Strat, that is really lovely. I'm going to go over to that neck and middle pickup combination. Let's bring in the boost comp. And I'll just bring the drive down a little bit on it, and then we can bring in this dimension chorus. It sounds lovely. Next up, going from a super chimey sounding amp to something that can still sound really clean, but it's more of the warm style clean in my opinion. This is the Ventu. I think that's how you say it anyway. Ventux, if you were a true blue Australian trying to pronounce this like we do. But what I like about this on here is that you've got this interesting high pass filter on here rather than a bass and a treble control. And I'm assuming it's pre-gain in the model. I've got it set up at the moment for something kind of nice and fat and warm. But what I'll do is I'll bring the drive up, and as I do that, I'll play around with this high pass filter. So this is a great one to go from that warm clean to a sort of break up smooth overdrive thing. Really interesting. little clip with the Vento on humbuckers provides a nice transition because I want to talk about what is probably my favorite crunchy amp in here, the Placator Dirty, based on a Friedman BE or HBE. You've got switches for the HBE switch, the fat switch, the C45 switch, and the saturation switch on here. Same IR. I do have a snapshot with the delay on here, but I'll just let you hear it straight up. And I'm using the Dynamic Hall Reverb. Again, check it out. Now that with some kind of boost up front, let's go for the boost comp again, and some of that lovely delay. I've got a dual delay on here. It's pretty sweet for a rock and roll thing. Next up, another filthy one, the Cali 4 lead. This is based on a Boogie Mark IV. And I do have to admit to being super spoiled with this kind of tone normally. I do have a real Mark IV, which I love the sound of. And the Mark IV model in the Fractal is absolutely incredible. So coming from that, I wouldn't say I'm enjoying this as much, but in the words of Krusty the Clown, I don't mind the taste. And to round things out, one that I've seen a lot of people who like heavy tones talk about, the Rev Generator Purple in here. You've got the three-way aggression switch modeled in here, and I'm going to hit it with a horizon drive model in here with the drive all the way down, the level all the way up, and attack and bright above noon. This is kind of like a cross between a 5150 and a recto to me. That one is super, super fun. I haven't tried out all of the amps in here just yet, so I would love to hear from any of you who use an HX Stomp or a Helix in general. Which 5 amps should I do a video on next? I would like to turn this into a little series where I just kind of make a few presets. I will share these presets on my Discord server, which is linked in the video description. You can get my free IRs in the description as well. Let me know your thoughts on the tones in this video or anything else I should have a look at on my next HX Stomp video. And I thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a great day. I'll see you next time. Cheers.